All right, so I'm a little excited because the mail just came and we have something waiting for us, so let's go get it. And you're probably gonna be like, bro, that's it? Why are you so excited? But sometimes it's the small things that get me excited. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get in here and see what I'm so excited about. Like I said, sometimes it's the small things that excite me. And today, it would be lights. We have light kits for both vehicles. All right, let's get into these ones first here, you guys. First up, we have a light kit for my Gen 8. Now, I've been wanting to get some lights for this for quite some time, but every time I go to get the actual light kit from Redcat, it is never in stock. I can't never get it. So I went ahead and I ordered these from RC Lighthouse on Amazon, you guys. This is like 26 bucks, I think it was. And it comes with everything you need. Nothing fancy, but we have one plug that will go into the receiver, and then you have your multiple ends here for all your other lights. It does have 16, it's a 16 LED light set. Now this should have enough lights for the headlights, the tail lights, and the fog lights as well. So we're gonna go ahead and slap those in and get those on the Redcat. All right, you guys, next up, we have a light kit for the TRX4 2021 Bronco, and this is from Globacat, again on Amazon, you guys. I did not really want to come off of $100 right away for the Pro Scale light kit from Traxxas themselves, but it does look like this light kit right here, which is coming at $55, $56. This light kit here does pretty much the same thing the Pro Scale one does, almost half price. So I'm going to try it out, you guys. I see a lot of good reviews with this kit, and a lot of people use this kit. So I'm going to go ahead and slap it in my my Bronco. Like I said, you guys, sometimes it's the small things that excite me, and I am very excited to start this project. I'm going to start this right away, and we are going to put some lights on these rigs because I love having lights on my rigs. What do you guys like? Do you guys just like putting headlights on them? Do you guys like no lights? Do you guys like fully decking out your rigs with underglow, rock lights, like the whole thing, you guys? What do you guys like? Let me know in the comments, you guys. All right, I think we're gonna start with the Gen 8 because I don't think the lights are gonna be too crazy on it. I don't think it's gonna take too much, a whole lot of work, shall I say, to get those ones in. So let's go ahead and flip around to the workbench here, and let's get started on the Gen 8. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set the light package aside. I'm gonna pop this body off. You're gonna have to come up in here and get inside of your receiver box and access your receiver. Now, I don't have a short extension lead with just one plug on it, but I do have this 3-pronged extension. I'm just gonna go ahead and install that in there, I think. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave one of them on the outside for now, just like you see here, and then maybe tuck the other two away. And then if I do some underglow or something like that, it'll be ready to go. We'll see. Maybe I'll switch it out in the future, but that's all I have for now. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to start off by opening the receiver box and installing the lead for easy connections of our lights. All right, now we're just going to go ahead and pull out our receiver here, you guys. And as you see here, we have some slots. I'm going to go ahead and use one of those. And then, like I said, you can go ahead and install your Easy Connect lead right here on the outside of the box. Go ahead and loosen these screws here so that way you can put the tip of your lead in. All right, now you can see here I loosened the 2 screws, swung it down out of my way. Now I'm going to have room to go ahead and bring my lead in. Now I'm going to bring my lead in here, and you're going to want to put it in position where it goes. Some of these aftermarket ones might be a little bit bigger than your slot provided, but go ahead and squish it in there, you guys. Don't be afraid, just squish it in there. Bring your screws and your latch over, and then go ahead and pinch her down in there nice and snug. It'll hold it in place, nothing will go anywhere. Beautiful thing, man. I like this. That'll make it a nice, easy, quick connect for the lights for when I take the body on and off. Now we're going to take the other end of our lead and we're going to simply plug it into slot number 3. Now we're going to take the extras and the receiver and we're going to tuck it all up in here nicely, and then we'll put this back on and then we'll continue. All right, you guys, and since these 2 plugs are going to be hooked up to electric but just sitting inside the box, I am going to cover the ends real good with electrical tape, just in case I get any water inside my receiver box. That way it can ease my mind just a little bit and hopefully keep them ends dry and we won't have any electrical issues. All right, you guys, now that I have all of our wires tucked inside our receiver box, I'm gonna go ahead and install this box back together, tighten everything down, and we should be good to go now to go ahead and install the lights on the body and then come through and we'll have our hookup right here ready to go. All right, guys, so next thing I want to do real quick is I want to check and make sure this is all good and then check all of our lights. So first thing I'm gonna do, let me start out by killing this bright light here. I'm gonna plug the lead in where it goes to the quick little connect that we just put into the receiver box. Then I'm gonna go through and I'm gonna want to check every one of our lights, make sure they're working, and also you guys just to see what I have and which ones are which, you know what I mean? So as you see there, we have some white lights, some more white lights, a couple red lights, and then we have a set of colored lights and tail lights. Now that we have our lights connected and checked, we're gonna go ahead and turn this truck off and we're gonna get ready to wire them to the body. Okay, first things first, you guys, you're gonna get your body here and you're gonna take out your tail lights by removing these screws right here, and then it'll just pop out from the back really quick, really easy. Now these are not Redcat specific a light kit, you guys. I couldn't get one for the Gen 8. I couldn't find one. I did months and months ago, but now I can't. I figured I could probably pick up the Gen 9 one. It looks pretty much the same thing. But unfortunately they didn't have any in stock when I looked. So I got impatient and I'm like, I'm not waiting no longer. So I ordered these ones. They're a little different. If you see here, they will not go fully in here. That's not a deal breaker. I don't know if I'm just going to install it like this, hot glue it, or if I want to widen the hole a little bit so that way it drops in there where it's supposed to be, and then hot glue. I might just hot glue it just like this. It'll just probably be easier hot gluing it, and then I like to cover the back of it with a little bit of black permanent marker or paint or something, just so that way the light don't shine through the back, you know what I'm saying? I'll figure that out in a minute, but I also want to point this out to you guys. I have this nifty little contraption. I can't even remember where I got this. I'm assuming on Amazon somewhere, but I have this neat little contraption here. Little extension plugs in, which is just an on and off switch. Then this here, you can plug into one of your leads, and it's just gonna back feed it to this other lead. So that way you can take your lights and plug it in, and then it'll turn your lights on for you. See what I'm saying? Got the on and off. But this way you can know and be assured of what lights exactly you have. So that way when you put them into position, you can make sure your lights are correct. See what I'm saying? Hope you guys can see this. Let me try to turn that light off. There you go. So that way when you're installing them in there, you know exactly which lights go where, and you don't put the wrong ones in the wrong positions. Now, this is not one of the fancy ones, like I said, from Redcat, so it is not going to blink, and the reverse lights and things like that are not going to work. So I do not think I'm going to install a reverse light in there with it, because I don't want that constantly to be on. I'd rather just have constant brake lights, you know what I'm saying? So I think that's how I'm going to install the tail lights. And then we will install the headlights and the running lights and everything the same exact way, you guys. And we'll have lights for the trail. So let's go ahead and get the hot glue out and let's get into it. We got the hot glue warming up. We have our tail lights here. I'm not going to Dremel anything or screw out any of these. I'm just going to go ahead and set them into place where they go. Hit them with some hot glue, because regardless if I drill it out or not, I still have to hot glue it. So I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead, put them where they go. We're going to hot glue them into place and then carry on. I'm going to put my light in there. I'm going to hold it into position. I'm going to take some hot glue and I'm going to run a little hot glue around the edge here and here a little bit. Okay, that's going to hold where I want it. So then once I know it's going to be perfectly where I want it, I'm going to come through with another little dab where I didn't get it. And I'm just gonna make sure everything gets glued up nicely, you guys. So that way it holds it into place. And we don't have to worry about it falling out on the trail. Take your time, you guys. Put a little craftsmanship, little pride into it, whatever, and you will not regret it because it will turn out much, much better. All right, now I'll save you the long and boring process of me doing this on all these taillights, and we'll jump back in here shortly, and I'll show you how it's going. All right, you guys, now that we are waiting for the taillights to dry, I'm gonna flip it around. We're gonna come around to the front, and we're gonna start taking out the headlights in the front so we can get the headlights installed there. You have 3 screws in the headlights. 1, 2, and a third one down here. Now, if you have an extension or if you're slick with your hands or your tools or whatever, you can get this out without having to take all this off. But if you cannot get this third screw out, you are gonna have to take off the fender, which will release this, which will release this, and this, so on and so forth. You gotta take all this out. So I'm just gonna get my extension out. I'm gonna come up in through here. I'm gonna get right up in there, you guys. And I'm just gonna take that screw out right there. Then I'll go through, take my other 2 screws out, and then we're gonna drop these headlights out of here and get ready to install the headlights. All right, there you have it. Your back casing will pop out. Install your lights, slap it back in. Real simple, guys. Let's go ahead and get this other one out, and then I'll get back with you. All right, you guys, as you can see here, I have our headlight casings. I'm gonna go ahead and take one of my strands of all white. Here's another one. You have 2 of these. One of these is gonna be for your headlights, and the other one is gonna be for the front bumper, fog lights, whatever you wanna call them down there. We're gonna install those as well, but we're gonna go ahead and do the headlights just like we did the tail lights. Hot glue them in a position, you guys, and then we'll carry on. That's gonna be sweet. So these are taking me just a little bit longer than I expected, to be honest. Add just a little bit more hot glue on that one. All right, you guys, there you have it. Headlights are installed, ready to go. Yeah, buddy, that's gonna be awesome. All right, you guys, you can easily take off the front bumper now to install the 4 front bumper lights by removing these 2 screws here and sliding it off. All right, we have the bumper off here and it looks pretty much the same. We're gonna hot glue these sons of guns in there, so let's do it. All right, you guys, while everything dries, we're gonna go ahead and come back to the taillights that are already dried. I wanna show you guys a little trick that I like to do when I have to hot glue my lights and everything. Sometimes when you do this, you get a lot of shine back through the hot glue, which is going to shine back into your cab. If you don't have an interior or something like that, and you have clear windows, it's going to light up your cab, you guys, and you're going to see the lights. Now, to try to get more of a scale look out of them, what I like to do is I like to come through, and as you see here on these ones, I like to paint them. You probably use permanent marker if you really want to or had to, but the paint sticks seem to work the best for me. They get the best coating and it gets really nice. Sometimes you have to do 2 coats, but let me show you the difference right now. As you can see here, you get a lot of kickback of light through the back side of the tail lights. That's what I'm going to try to prevent, so that way it don't light my cab up from the inside, because right now I don't have an interior, and I do have clear windows because I hope to put in an interior and some stuff in the future. So I want to try to eliminate as much of this kickback as possible so my cab don't glow from lights and help me keep my scale look. It's really simple, you guys, self-explanatory. You're just going to come through and you're just going to start painting your hot glue. All right, now with that first one being done, you can see huge difference already. You see that, you guys? Huge difference. That's going to eliminate a lot of that. What I'll do is I'll let that dry, and then I'll come through and I'll slap a second coat on there, and I'll practically have no kickback of light through the back side of my lights. That's going to help me out a whole bunch and keeping my scale look through my windows. All right, here's the bumper, you guys, and I just wanted to jump in here real quick and show you the difference so far between being colored over here and not colored on over here. The bumper is much harder to do, but if you can get the paint down in there and make it happen, as you can see here, it's much, much better. Also, I think I might wire this differently. I think I might get one of them second ports out that I have, or the third one, or whatever you want to call it, and wire this alone. We'll see how it goes. All right, you guys, now that all of our lights are installed, we are going to go ahead and slap them on the truck and see what it looks like. My lighting is done. It is in, and I have it secured. What I did is I ran along here, and I zip tied it real good. Zip tied it good. Fed it off behind here, up under the wheel well. I did loosen it here and slide a zip tie in right here to hold the masses. As you can see also, on the one that had only 2 taillights, and then the other 4 were white, I just went ahead and I put some shrink wrap around that, so that way that they're there, but you can't see them. You know what I mean? It's not going to light up the body. It's not going to look weird, and it's going to protect them. So I shrink wrap those, hide them, protect them, the whole 9. My front one, same thing, you guys. I kind of went in here, zip tied them to a couple places. Now, if I put an interior in here, I may have to change this wiring around a little bit, but that's why it's zip tied, so I can tear it out and redo it. Some things I want to mention real quick about this light kit. It is an awesome light kit. It's pretty simple. It saves you a lot of time building your own, but I did have to get into building some of my own. I did have to make some extensions, and on the chassis, I'll show you that now, because it was just too tight, and I didn't want my wiring just out here in no man's land, super tight. It just wasn't, it wasn't kosher for me. I didn't like it. So I did have to extend here and on the chassis. I'll show you that here in a second. Other than that, I think this was a pretty sweet light kit. Here on the chassis, as you can see, we are put in. I brought them together and I zip tied them here to the chassis, so that way I have looseness, but they're not going nowhere. And then I went ahead and just secured them to the motor wires as well, so that's not going anywhere. Here is the other extension that I made. Now this is designed to go and plug into the body, but it's just too tight. And then what? Every time I put my body on, I got to plug in my front lights and these lights. It's doing too much, you guys. That's come on, that's doing too much. I went ahead and I made an extension, and I just went ahead and I'm going to use both ports. And then my body is the only one I'll have to unplug and plug in every single time, which is not that big of a deal. All right, there you have it, you guys. Check that out. Let me go ahead and knock these lights out of here so you can see it a little better. I got the headlights installed, bumpers installed, and then I got the tail lights installed. Now these ain't gonna be fancy like the kit comes, and blinkers and reverse lights and things like that. It ain't gonna have all that. It's just gonna be lights. You know what I mean? I'm all right with that. I don't need all the blinkers and stuff. Brake lights and reverse lights, that would be pretty neat. I do like those, but I don't need blinkers and things like that. So I think it's gonna do really good for what we got going. All right, there you go, you guys. Light kit installed on the Redcat Gen 8. This is gonna be sweet at night. I cannot wait to get this out there when it gets dark tonight and get some cool footage of it. I think it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna do the Bronco on a different video because this took a little longer than I thought. But I appreciate you guys as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share, turn on them notifications, and get a controller in your hand. Go out and have some fun, you guys. We'll see you on the next one.